Alright, so boss monster, Cyber Elatin. It's somewhat like Chimeratech Overdragon, except when he comes out, you special summon him by removing all light machines in your field and in your graveyard from play. Gains 500 instead of 800 for every single one, and when he comes out, he blows up your opponent's field as well as your own. So it's really good. It's a field swarmer and comes out fairly easily, assuming you've used like an overload, future fusion or something like that to get the machines you want in the graveyard to begin with. And it's a jump promo card, so it's easy to get a hold of. With the March list, Cyber Dragon is now at 2, makes the deck incredibly viable. It's a 2100 beater, it comes out easily, and it forms some of the best fusions in the game, so really good. 3 Cyber Dragons away. This guy, you reveal a spell card, his name becomes treated as a Cyber Dragon, so again he can be used for like Overload Fusion and Power Bond in order to form out your other fusions. His name is treated as Cyber Dragon while it's in the graveyard, so you can easily come up with Chimeratech, etc. And use for Power Bond to form your Cyber End Dragon as well as Cyber Twin. So yeah, really good card. Funny thing is, like, you go, okay, I'll reveal Power Bond for his effect, and then I'll form a huge ass monster. So it's just a bit of a kick through your opponent. 3 Proto Cyber Dragons, light as well as Cyber Dragon Zwei. All the monsters in here are light. Wait, with the exception of Gale. But anyway, this guy, you need to have a Cyber Dragon. He needs to be face up, so like you can grab him through Shining Angel or something to form your Cyber Twins, etc. You just got to have him on the field to use him. 3 Cyber Valleys, we all know what he's good for. He's a bit of a stall, and he's a machine, so you can send him to the grave for a future fusion for Chimeratech, and he's a draw engine as well. So it's the deck that you need to stall out a little bit until you can get your power bonds off, until you get like safely behind a heavy storm and got a solemn face down, etc., in order to get your huge OTKs out. 2 Honest, well, obvious choice. Even though it's at 2, really good for the deck. They're all light, easy as to use, and it's good protection. 2 Light Hex Seal Fusions. These guys replace your Cyber Dragons when you go for Future Fusion, as Cyber Dragon Zwei and Proto Cyber Dragon can't actually be used while they're in the deck. So if you go Future Fusion for a Cyber End Dragon, you need to use this guy and still use the 2 Cyber Dragons that are in your deck, keeping in mind that that's only with Future Fusion. However, you can use like Power Bond with one of these guys and like a Cyber Dragon's Way or a Proto Cyber Dragon on the field, as long as their names are treated as the same. So you can bring out Cyber End Dragon really easily. 2 Shining Angels, obvious choice, brings out your Cyber Dragon's Way, brings out Proto Cyber Dragon, also brings out your Light Hex Sealed Fusions, brings out Cyber Valley, and it's a self-replacer at worst. So if you need to go kill off a Shining Angel, bring out another one, kill that one off, and yeah, bring out your other monsters. Gale, I like it. It's really splashable. It's the only tuner in the deck, gives the deck versatility, and you've got that halving ability. I really like it because you can go into an Armor Master and stall out until you've got a Power Bond or something in your hand, and stave off those opponents' plays until you're ready for the OTK. Anyway, moving on to the spells, Heavy Storm, Trunade, and MST. I run all 3 as it is an OTK build. You need to be able to have at least one of these to get rid of your opponent's back row, to safely drop your Chimeratech, drop your Cyber Twin, drop your End Dragon, whatever. Brain Control, just a mover, does what Brain Control does. And I run Mind Control as well because you run Cyber Valley, really good. You can remove their monster out of the way, and at worst, if you just need to be able to move their monster out of the way so that you can OTK with your Cyber Twin or Chimeratech. I run Sarco, just 1, so that you can search out your win conditions such as Power Bond. We know what Power Bond does, brings out huge monsters. You take their original attack at the end phase, but usually you killed your opponent by the end of the turn that you use one of these to bring out your huge monsters anyway. Doubles their attack, and usually your monsters end up being able to attack 2 to 3 times anyway. Future Fusion, we all know what that does. Overload Fusion, awesome combo with this is you go Future Fusion, dump every single machine in the deck to the grave for a Chimeratech, and then drop an Overload Fusion, and then you're able to just attack for like, there's about, I think there's 14 machines in here that you can drop with Future Fusion first turn, and then go Overload Fusion, and yeah, it's insane. It's a complete overkill, but it's funny when you just see your opponent's draw drop. Limiter removal, again, machines, you can, there's really no need for this to, yeah, because Power Bomb doubles their attack anyway, but limiter removal's great. And also, if you need to get them in the grave for an Overload Fusion, there you go. Now with the Machine Structure deck out, Machina Armored Unit, this thing is great. It's a self-replacer like Shining Angel, activates in the damage step as well, so it can't be Royal Oppression. Basically when your machine dies, you can bring out another machine. So if you've got this on the field, you just set like a Proto Cyber Dragon that's a bit of jank in your hand. You can bring out like a Cyber Valley, or even a lot... well, I was playtesting with Road Synchron, but yeah, you can bring out Cyber Valley mainly just to stall off and stave off attacks. And also, if you know you're gonna lose a monster, you just bring this, you use this, and it brings out another one. So kind of like Shining Angel as a self-replacer. I run Double Vortex because, of course, it is an OTK deck. You want to be making those big direct attacks, those huge pushes, and these just get rid of those monsters out of the way. I run my body as well. It is, as I said, OTK deck. You don't want to be hit by a Mirror Force or a Torrential or even a Bottomless when you're going for those big pushes and you've set up your big field for it. Standard trap lineup, Torrential, Mirror Force, Solemn, absolutely needed. Again, it acts as my body as a shield. You don't want to hit those Mirror Forces, Torrentials or Bottomlesses when you set up your OTK. Call of the Haunted, and I run Double Threatening. Double Threatening is really good, helps stall out, again, until you've got those key cards to set up the OTK. Anyway, I've talked for enough. Let's quickly show you the extra deck. One Chimeratech Fortress Dragon for the contact fusions. Easy to bring out, and you don't need Power Bond, etc. to bring it out. 2 Cyber Twin Dragons, big boss monster, 2800. If you bring it out with Power Bond, it goes up to 5600, and it can attack twice. So, Chimeratech Overdragon, your absolute last line of defense when you go with Overload Fusion. 800 attack for each material used, and it can attack as many times as the material was used to summon it. And just 1 Cyber End Dragon. This is actually still fairly hard to get out unless you're using Future Fusion, and even then you usually tend to just go for a Cyber Twin anyway. Stardust, Colossal, Armor Master. I was talking about with the reasoning behind Gale is to bring this out until you've got those key cards. Black Rose, just a bomb. Bryanak, Koyo, Catastra, and Armorion. Yeah, anyway, so please comment, rate, subscribe, and tell me what you think of this next format with this deck. Is this deck going to be a big contender or what? So, yeah. Next time, guys. Thanks.